Alright, welcome back everyone. So after the trailer for Predator Badlands was released, I found an article with some more information. The first thing is the synopsis of the story. A few websites have similar information but with different wording, but it all means the same thing. Predator Badlands is set in the future on a remote planet where a young predator, Shuster, outcast from his clan, finds an unlikely ally in Thea, Fanning, and embarks on a treacherous journey in search of the ultimate adversary. So yeah, the Pred we see in the movie and trailer is a young hunter, which could explain its very thin build, smaller size. So it does look younger, but not like the older ones we saw in the previous movies. So I guess that explains why it looks this way. The stuff we saw in the trailer so far is pushing the boundaries of the franchise. It's the first time we've seen something so different for a Predator movie. We've never seen anything like this before. We got this article that mentions a bunch of things about the movie. Bloody Disgusting was exclusively shown the first 20 minutes of Badlands, even though some parts had unfinished VFX. They were introduced to Dek, the main character played by Demetrius Shuster. It follows the Predator's journey and one we can finally root for and sympathize with. They also mention a planet in the story. It says here, one of the cool things about the movie is that we're on Yautja Prime. There's a lot in this movie from the extended universe. This is a futuristic Predator sequel with laser grappling hooks and shinier technology built from the ground up. Dek's spoken Yautja language was developed by the Mente of the fellow who invented Avatar's Na'vi dialect. We insanely decided to treat the language properly. So they put a lot of focus on the language to bring something new to this film. I wanted to be very careful that I did not fall into a trap of making something more lore-focused than story-focused. I wanted to make Predator Badlands feel genre, feel very specific, and feel like an inversion of the main premise. Now the Predator is on another planet, and is going to be hunted by things, and has to use his guile to survive. Back when they were looking for someone to fill the role of Feral in Prey, they wanted a stuntman, and they found Dane DeLiegro, who was an ex-basketball player with athletic abilities. So for this film, they wanted a stunt guy. Enter Demetrius, who earned his role through rigorous physical auditions. The eager actor invested himself in the world of Predator Badlands, learning an imaginary Yautja language, and bringing immense passion to the part, despite his face never being on camera. The text on the new Predator's gear seems to have a similar style to what we saw on the helmet of Wolf. It's only similar, but I cannot confirm if it's the same. Since this movie is taking place on another world, they went really heavy on the special effects. Every shot's a visual effects shot. I thought I had a lot of effect shots on Prey, but this is nuts. The cool thing about what we're doing is digital effects are meant to match the suit, not match the creature flesh. Weta worked tirelessly to make Dek and other Predators feel amazingly lifelike yet fantastical. The opening shot has Dek careening over a glistening landscape shot top-down Akira style. An action sequence follows between Dek and his Yautja brother training battleground stuff, followed by Dek's prideful desire to select Kalisk as his hunting ground, known as the Death Planet, where he's to prove his unsupportive father wrong. Dek's ultimately fighting for acceptance in his own clan with his own bloodline, where he defends against an onslaught of forest murder vines. Dek is a formidable warrior with everything to prove. Dan was influenced by different movies to create Predator Badlands. Dek even starts to resemble Conan or Drax the Destroyer later on. He was happy how they made Prey, but when it came to Predator Badlands, he wanted to push things even further. We were out in the wilderness with hip waders, in trenches with eels, and all of that for 90% of the shoot, but things were also augmented. I never thought the Predator was Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger. Predators had a code, like Hitman or Crime Underworld Goodfellas. I felt like there was something cool to explore within that culture that's different than just adding a bunch of stuff on top of it. It felt like we're mining ideas as opposed to just throwing more at the franchise. During the 20-minute footage, they didn't get to see the introduction of Elle Fanning's character. Dan just said, her story has the same roots, but is a bit different thematically and starts to go into a different branch of proving oneself. They also noticed that Elle Fanning's character had the manners of an android, which was the possible alien tie to Weyland-Yutani. There's a unique hook to her character that is exciting in the pairing of her and Dec. This only leads to more speculation or possibility that Predator might have another connection to Alien from this movie, or it might lead into a future AVP movie, and there's also the possibility that the Predator in Badlands could show up in that AVP movie as well. Dan wanted to see the Predator with someone else. This character who's the opposite of him, he's very laconic. Fanning is not. She's capable in ways that he is not, and there's something about her that we're going to see in the film. There's also going to be a bunch of Easter eggs, like one where Dec is cycling through holograms, or there's a trophy case that could make you laugh. He also mentions how this movie is doing its own thing to be different. It's a big crazy swing, and I think that's what drives butts into seats. If you want to see the old jungle theme against humans, you can rewatch Predator or Prey. But this new movie Badlands is meant to push the franchise to the next level. I'm really curious about all the Easter eggs in the movie. There's this one here which could be a reference to Yayind, also known as Broken Tusk from the Aliens vs. Predator comics. As you can see, both characters have a slightly broken mandible. There's also some theories about the trophy room. Someone said in the comments of the previous video that the skull in the very center looks like the skull formation of the alien creatures that were in the movie Independence Day. And there was another comment saying that one of the larger human-like skulls could belong to an engineer. What do you think? So if this movie leads into a future AVP movie, I would love that. That would be awesome. And this happens every time we have a new Predator or Alien movie. Some fans like it, some fans don't like it. And here's the thing, you can never please everyone. All they can do is try their best and make a great movie, and that's it. I will agree on this one. The design of this face looks kind of weird, a bit goofy, it's strange. I know it's meant to be young, but still, in a way, kind of looks off. But for the rest of the scenes we saw in the trailer, I'm liking it. It's a new idea, a new vibe, a new setting, and for me, I'm open to it. I want to see what happens, because you cannot do the jungle and soldier theme every single movie. You just can't. At some point, they have to do something different. So that's it for now. I'll see you next time.